Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Howdy, howdy, howdy from deep in the heart of Texas here at Circuit of the Americas. It is the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by SRP. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Aaron Smith with Samuli Kumo in the production booth. And you're here live watching Apex Racing TV. Aaron, how are you feeling today? And welcome to my home track right next door to me pretty much at Circuit of the Americas.
I'm feeling good racing-wise. Having driven this track all week, personally in the Formula 3 car, doesn't really work as well as you'd like. It doesn't really feel like it has that much rhythm. But I will say it is very, very good for racing, and I think we may have quite a good battle for the lead, as qualifying times right now are looking really competitive from the top 5. So I think we've got an absolutely stonking race on our hands.
Yeah, it is a fantastic track. It takes best parts of racing from around the world and puts them into a nice, just boom, right there, right outside the city of Austin, Texas. But yeah, qualifying is currently going on right now, and it is QT Marto currently sitting at provisional pole ahead of Jerome Lamley and Team Milicongas in 3rd place. Our top 3 drivers, and Martel with a 1:55.859 currently put up right there. Not the fastest lap time that we're going to be seeing this weekend. There's some other race going on right now. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it. Small things.
Well, I mean, I can assure you, me and Austin will be trying our best to focus on, of course, the biggest race of them all.
Wait, you don't turn off everything? You just watch the race that you're paid to?
No, of course I do.
Well, I've been doing this for 5 years. I know my professionalism.
You're about as professional as if Jimmy Johnson was to do commentary, I believe.
He's actually done that, actually.
Has he?
Yes, it was good.
Yeah, I'm after the race. I'm looking this up. There's no way.
Yeah, Indy 500 last year.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, that's.
And if you know James Hinchcliffe as well, he's also doing commentary this week on F1 TV.
Oh, good. Of course he is.
And it's actually he's really good. But James, good job. I'm not showing my American bias at all right now. Logan Sargent is the best driver in the world. Okay, now I am.
He didn't deserve that seat. He did not.
Okay, we're back to iGPFun and not us bickering about. 3 minutes are currently left here in qualifying right now. Jerome Landley just getting a little bit off the track at the end. That lap time was invalidated. He did set a 1:55.99 that last lap, and actually, no, that did count for him. So he is closing that gap to Tiago Martel. Oh, one of the cars that's just crashed. Jumping into 5th place, though, it's Julio Policio. The 194 jumping up into 5th place, the Georgian, right now, as he slows down right next to the pit box.
Yeah, Julio looking fairly decent, even though yesterday in ARA he wasn't that quick on the pace, has to be said. But with a lot smaller grid today, we've only got about 35, 36 drivers actually on the track this weekend. Policio looking pretty quick. Jimenez as well, pretty much looking the best of the rest, but that top 3 right now is one step ahead of everyone else looking at the moment.
And with this lower driver count, we're expecting 37 drivers to be starting this race. We could be seeing some drivers go for their best finishing position, as some of the top runners are not here today.
I don't blame them. If I was in IGP, I'd be doing the exact same thing. But hey ho, these drivers are committed to Formula 3 and they don't care about another series that's currently going on. Unnamed, of course. But
if you have DVR, it's okay.
I can't. I don't know how some drivers are able to do other things whilst driving. I can't. I need to be fully concentrated.
Who was that on the wall in the background?
That was Team U, I think. Yeah, that was Team U.
Yeah, big crash right there, front wing off and everything. But yeah, so I know that feeling when I first started doing commentary and stuff, as Adam Talsma is deciding to explore some future rallycross options here at Circuit of the Americas. Adam, if you want a good rallycross track, it's actually at the arena at the end of the second straightaway. There was a rallycross track set up there for Nitro Rallycross. There was a jump and everything. And no, not Nitro, American Rallycross Series. That was short-lived, so you could tell by the success. But, you know, this track did have a Rallycross, and it's pretty all right. Very tight of a circuit, but, you know, pretty all right in an arena setting. And it's actually in this arena right here. If you go there in real life, there are holes cut out on the left side of the track. That's where they started.
Whenever you start talking about rallycross, I do get ever so slight PTSD.
Are you talking about Sebring's rallycross track?
Yeah.
You're gonna soon realize that if you make one mistake around me, I will continue to poke at it.
Well, to be fair, if I hadn't brought it up, you wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, no. Evan Ways
was
crashed at the end of the session. Very tricky corner. Turn 9 is. It's a blind left-hander, and you gotta avoid that inside curve. You also gotta watch out track limits on the outside. Easiest place to get it off track. And also, if you're following Apex Racing TV on any of our social medias, you would know the April Fool's joke that we announced Turn 9 as Apex Corner.
It's not going to be like Sonoma where we're just naming our own corners now.
Yeah, no. Circuit of the Americas has named corners. Yes, it is just the first one. Big Red.
Well, it's better than Sonoma, I'll give it that.
And Turn 19, it's not officially named Whataburger Corner, but as Tiago Martel drives through Whataburger Corner, it's such a fantastic corner and a restaurant.
It is very fitting.
There's a giant Whataburger advertisement. I'm not going to call my favorite restaurant and not say that. And also, Martel, last lap of qualifying, puts in a new fastest lap to increase that gap. Didn't need to, but he did it anyway. Luca Ferrani currently sitting in 10th. Will McIntyre Jones, last car, out there on track. Darren Rolson and Adam Talisman are out there as well. They're just now finishing up their laps as McIntyre Jones through Whataburger Corner.
Ooh, Whataburger Corner. I like how you had to put so much emphasis on it. You literally breathed in. You had to give all of your lungs time to react.
They're based in San Antonio, so yes.
Of course, though.
And I might have been. I was. Earlier in the week, I was.
Why aren't you now?
Because I was only there to meet somebody in a pit garage. So
Oh, of course.
that was all my time on Thursday.
You
And
could
I
probably
was
walk
scheduled
there.
here. I was scheduled here. Do you think I missed out this opportunity to commentate iGPFun at my favorite track in the world?
I would have. This is one of my least favorite tracks, so I would have taken that opportunity without even thinking about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Smith has just been sacked.
No, have you seen the numbers in officials this week? It's at an all-time low in F3.
No, because I
of this
don't.
track.
No, because I don't look at official races, and
Well,
I've
there
been
you
driving
go.
a NASCAR this entire week.
The highest split I was in all week was 2.2. That is poor. That is bad.
Wait,
Anyway,
are you telling me my I rating was higher than an official S2F split?
yes.
Oh my gosh, what's going on right here? Well, I can tell you what's going on. We are qualified and all ready to go. Q Dogger Marteau is currently sitting on pole position ahead of Jerome Langley. Team of Miliconga is followed by Tony Jimenez, Julio Policio, Lee Aberdeen, Victor Barris, and Alistair Hay, followed by Will McIntyre Jones, Luca Veroni, Christian Glamsetter, Pedro Soares in 12th place, Lucas Maruk, Evan Wade, Andy Flip, followed by Darren Rolls and Robert Ridgway, Adam Tasman, Chuck Morrow, Stephen Ritter, Stumlin Fessy, Marcelo Kessler, and Ivan in 23rd, followed by Marquillas Punicus in 24th, followed by Ben Goyette, Irvin Tumakangas, and Linus Malm, Matt Brewer, followed by Kuchi Aito, Paulo Breme, Alan Lee, Marquez Otalov, Zoltan Zilmutter, Philip Lucas, John McKenzie, and Trevor Smith in 36th place. And at the end of our grid is Leonardo Cherry and Matthew Gracie, and I believe this is the lowest starting Leonardo Cherry ever was in 37th place, but 38 cars on the grid and all ready to go up Big Red as we are about to start this race and get underway here at Circuit of the Americas.
Someone's excited for the start of this race. I wonder why, you biased little... Anyway, I think turn one's going to be absolutely chaotic. I don't know if any of our top 5 will make it out alive, but we shall wait and see and find out who comes out on top here at COTA, the worst tracker in the world.
I will fly over to Europe and punch you in the face.
I dare you. Come on, fight me. We have so much better tracks over here. Fight me. Fight me. Come on.
Simone, can we remove him from the broadcast booth?
Well, we're about to go racing. Austin, take it away.
As we are getting ready to go, 5 red lights as we are green here at Circuit of the Americas to start off iGPFun Formula 3 Series presented by SRP. Marteau gets a good lead with Jerome Langley onto the outside. Right now we go side by side heading to turn 1. Marteau dives it up onto the inside and everybody gets through there pretty much scot-free. A little bit of lockups in the background, but everybody else as they fly through turn 2 stays right behind. Chuck Morrow and Marcelo Kessler goes side by side right next to each other as we fly through the S's to start off this lap. Lee Aberdeen following Julio right up there. The top 10 all staying within, well, in the same spots where they started, but behind them, everybody just getting a little bit advantage over each other. Pedro Soares and Christian Glamsetter had a little bit of a spot. Biggest mover so far is Adam Tasman jumping up 2 spots as well. He had a good start as we fly through Apex Corner and down towards the second hairpin.
Yeah, very, very clean start from everyone. Always good to see as Will McIntyre Jones is having a little look on Alistair Hay in front of him. But yeah, everyone having a fairly clean start. I was genuinely expecting it to be absolute chaos. But I think that Jerome Lamley is going to be looking at the rear end of QT Marteau, and surely we'll go for a move into this next corner.
As we fly down into the arena, hopping over the curbs as all these drivers are trying to fight for the corner and Apex as they can do it. And I just love watching races from this point because they're just very low speed and so many opportunities for an overtake right here. So you're looking at Lee Aberdeen chasing down Alistair, pulling away from Alistair Hay and chasing down Victor Barris.
Oh, and that's Fessy off the track. I think he looped it just by himself. I don't think he was involved in anyone else, and that's getting very close. 2, Trevor Stiff in front of him. But yeah, we have a lot of incidents, especially down the bottom of the grid right now. Everyone just on these heavy cars, about 11 gallons of fuel and cold tires. It's an understeery and oversteery mess, and the curbs on this track, the elevation change, it really catches you out if you are not careful, as I have experienced many times throughout this entire week.
I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of taken back from the way you said this. Did you just say gallons?
I did say gallons.
Yes.
Am I not? Okay, really? I use gallons. Do you have an issue with that?
No, I'm embracing it. Thank you.
Yeah, all my friends are very confused whenever I say gallons. They're just like, why don't you use liters?
You don't need to. You don't need to. So
I'm
looking at
counting
Christian
them.
Glamsetter under pressure from right behind. Lucas Maroon setting up for the air around the outside mover. A little bit of a switchback. He's currently side by side, diving down towards the inside. His Glamsetter hugging that apex, but around the outside, Lucas Maroon holding the speed. So they go side by side down that long back straightaway, and they're also joined by Evan Way. Evan Way into the draft of not one but 2 cars. He's diving down towards the inside of Glamsetter. He's gotta have to watch out where he needs to go, or else he's going to be turning into an airplane. So they go 3 wide, but he backs out of it. They're still side by side, Glamsetter and Maruk. Maruk round the outside, entering the arena. Lucas Maruk, P12.
Yeah, that was a decent overtake. I was expecting Evan Way to have a lot more just backbone on the back straight. He had the slipstream from 2 cars and didn't move up any places. Hopefully he can make his way past Christian Glamsetter in front, but I really expected him to pass both of them, as they both were side by side pretty much the whole straight and weren't slipstreaming each other. Missed opportunity in my opinion from Evan Way, but it's a very long race. He's got many more opportunities as we go through Warnerburger Corner, as Austin named it. Did you say it was official? Warnerburger Corner?
It's not officially known as Whataburger Corner.
Well,
I want it to be. I want it to be.
I like it. It's a good name.
If you come here, I will give you a Whataburger.
Oh, there you go. I've actually never been to America, so there you go. Gives me an opportunity. If Austin can buy me a burgers. Robert Widgway now trying to look for a move on Stephen Ridder's in front of him. Can't quite get it done. Very difficult to overtake in the first sector. Not too many opportunities. Really only turn 1, but now coming into this S section, which is very easy to sky high on those curbs. These are deadly. If you go on them, it's pretty much race over.
They're not the biggest curves I've ever seen, but they're very effective on keeping your wheels on the ground and stay within track limits, which are the white lines on the track, not the curves that a lot of drivers want it to be. It is officially the white lines, which, if you were watching F1 qualifying yesterday, oh my gosh, the track limit deletions.
There were a lot of them, and some people getting a little bit controversial, especially on Twitter, people saying that certain drivers went off the track.
Oh, hello!
Like, Sappen, and that's Victor Barrett's trying to defend from
Tony
Julio Felicio.
Yeah, Julio on the defense. It was Barris on the attack, and watch out, they're now both under pressure. Lee Aberdeen and Alistair Hay are joining the fight, and that's Aberdeen down the inside and making the move.
I actually held my tongue. That was extremely close. iRacing's netcode was really on their side. That was incredibly close. I don't see wow, that's incredible.
That was
racing.
pristine. I loved that move. He just put it up there for the taking and was able to get it through. Let's ride on board of a 999 Lee Aberdeen. He saw that opportunity and he went for it. The closest gap. How did they not touch?
I'm astonished. That is incredible. I mean, fair play to both of these drivers. That is what we want to see. That was very good racing. But now, can Alistair Hay try and pull off a similar move on Felicio, who has now lost 2 places in a single lap? Can he go on the defense and try and stick in 7th place? But this is a very intense battle, all the way from about 7th place all the way down to about 12th. This is going to heat up, I can tell.
He certainly is. And they're all chasing each other down, but hey, he's going to be trying to follow his teammates' footsteps, but probably in an easier way. as he's going to have that straight right in front of him. But watch out because Luca Ferrani is on the prowl right behind him.
Yeah, all these guys are just absolutely sending it, and I love it. I mean, it's the early part of the race. Why not? Luca Verani going to go for a move on Alistair Hay, pulling out of the slipstream. Hay just outside of the slipstream of Policio in front of him, and surely Verani's going to get this move done. Yes, that inside line got the move done fairly clean, and now Alistair Hay is under pressure from McIntyre Jones in 10th place.
Yeah, we got a big draft train right behind of Luca Verani, about 5 cars involved in it, so everybody's going to be on attack and under pressure down that back straightaway. It's all about placement and how you attack that final corner and get onto that back straightaway. And if you have a drafting partner ahead of you, because if you don't have a drafting partner, you could end up under pressure completely. You're going to have to be focusing on going down to the inside. Just you gotta be onto the inside in a safe way. As look how close all 5 of these cars are, nose to tail around that final corner. As we have a fight for the lead. Jerome Lanley and Tiago Marteau side by side through Big Red.
Yeah, Marteau got a better exit on the exit of turn 1. Is he going to send his nose into the S section?
This is risky.
Oof, it just
backs out of
it.
Yeah, Jerome's going to be staying ahead. Marteau decided to back out right there. And a fantastic move by Jerome to dive it up onto the inside. He had the speed, he had the opportunity, he went for it. Almost overcooked the exit. Marteau could have held it around the outside, but side by side through those S's this early on in the race could return unbeneficial for either of them as we head into turn 12 and this long straightaway. And also, Team Congas is right there in 3rd place.
I imagine these two will probably be in a call with each other and absolutely scraping their heads.
They are. They are, but it's not screaming. It's more like strat calling and very calm. If you've ever talked to Marteau and Timu, they're nice. They're very fun to be around, but when they get into a race, it's nearly dead silence between them two, unless they start going off stretch. And look at this. Marteau trying to hold around the outside, but Jerome stays onto the inside. And now Jerome once again set up himself up onto the inside. Marteau trying to hold it around the outside. A little bit of switchback opportunity right there, but just gets blocked right there by Jerome off the exit as we go through the quadruple apex right-hander underneath that beautiful tower and heading towards turn 19 of Whataburger Corner. Marteau chasing down Jerome right ahead of him. Timu 1, 2, and 3 all separated just by a second between them all as they head down the front straightaway here at Circuit of the Americas.
I have the slight feeling that Marteau's running a little bit downforce than Jerome Lanley. He's probably not going to go for a sender to turn 1. No, he just stays behind. And, I mean, it's not the greatest opportunity into turn 1. The braking zone, especially in these cars, can hurt you off so much. But speaking of which, Maruk is going to say, screw that, I'm going to go for a move into turn 1. But Glamsetter, I think, actually was overtaking him.
Yeah, it was Christian going down to the inside. Maruk was on defensive, trying to hold it around the outside. And, ooh, Maruk! Well, I can tell you who likes to play the game of risk. That would be Lucas Maruk and Evan Way. Oh, well, getting a little bit airborne right there as he hits that bump and cruises down the inside of turn 6. I can tell you, last time I seen a car driving onto the inside right there was Santino Ferrucci in 2019 at the IndyCar race of Austin. It was called the IndyCar Classic at Circuit of the Americas. It was only ran once.
Only once?
Yeah, it wasn't the best naming convention.
I'm getting so
as Marteau and Jerome Lanley go side by side. Marteau had that apex, but Jerome had the speed on the outside. Now he went off the track just a little bit, but we have no live stewards right here. Marteau trying to keep his nose out of the inside. He's getting pressure. Marteau with a big send at the final corner of the apex at Tiago Marteau retakes the lead. But Jerome is right there on his gearbox as he is following him as close as he can as they chase through Whataburger Corner. 1, 2, and 3 all separated so closely. I don't even think there's half a second separating them. Lanley, he was trying to look for a move down the inside, but it's not right there as we start up another lap.
Yeah, these guys are going to be battling all the way to the end, hopefully. This is incredible racing as
Here we
Jerome
go.
Lamley now going to set up another move into turn 1. Surely Jerome's going to have the better exit, surely. Oh,
And he's nailed it. Marteau's going to have the speed off the exit. He's setting himself up for around the outside at turn 2 and looking for the inside line, heading to the exit, but he gets blocked by Jerome right there. 1, 2, and 3 through the S's there, closing in on a lap car right there. But oh, Timu goes a little bit wide off the exit. He's starting to fall away from these two, but man, what a fight at the lead that we have right now. If you said Circuit of the Americas is not good for fighting, eat your words and your hats.
Oof. As Marteau nearly loses the back end of the car. He's now half a second away from Jerome, but I can be certain that that gap will go away within seconds down this straight. But Timu now getting involved. I don't remember the last time we had a 3-way battle for the lead in IGP. And I'm not complaining.
You will have to go back in about a year.
And it's incredible. Look at Marteau already gaining on Jerome Lamley. They're side by side down the back straight. Marteau slightly ahead.
Oh, but Jerome, he sends it into the brakes, nearly missing the track off that. But that is a beautiful send by Jerome to retake the lead of QT Marteau. And this fight is allowing Timu to close in. And Timu, well, I say, Timu's got the best seat in the house. All he just needs is a little bit of popcorn and a little bit of bubbly to be enjoying this fight. But he's trying to keep up with these two as they are fighting nose to nose, wheel to wheel, fist to fist, knuckle to knuckle. Everything is just getting thrown at each other right now. The only thing not being thrown is a kitchen sink because we don't have those in iRacing yet.
I have no idea what you just said, but yes, kitchen sinks are not being thrown, I don't think. Marteau is now on the prowess of Jerome Lamley. I do think Marteau is running a lot lower downforce than Lamley. He can gain about half a second in the slipstream.
He's missed the braking point. He's missed the break point. Timu can set up for a move on his teammate, but he's not going to. I believe they're teammates. I am not sure. They're always with each other.
They're not teammates.
They're friends. They're all friends.
They're friends. It's like me and my friend Jack, when we do ARA yesterday, we're not in the same team, but we just like doing it with each other. There's nothing wrong with that. We may not be teammates, but you know, you have friends, you drive together. It's just a sort of ritual.
I had to. Okay.
You did, and you didn't.
The opportunity was there, and I just went for it.
And you did, and now I'm going to start crying. But Marteau is now back into the slipstream of Jerome Lamley. That didn't last long. Only about 8 corners Jerome was out of Marteau's slipstream, but he's now back in it, and Marteau surely will be on his back bottom within the next half a lap or so, and probably going for a move into turn 1. We shall wait and find out, as Timu now just slipping back ever so slightly. I don't think Timu quite has the pace to match these two, but if he has an opportunity, he will probably take it.
Well, speaking of taking it, we got this opportunity right now. Chuck Morrow side by side of Evan Way. Evan Way on the inside and staying in 18th for that MRP. Beautiful machine, the MRP 92. As
very good looking car.
I love a nice dash of blue on the car.
I have to agree. I mean, my car is nothing but blue, so you'll probably absolutely love my Formula 3 car.
It's funny because on my car I have orange accents all over mine, but I still love color blue. and before you say it, it is Whataburger orange.
Yep. I'm not even kidding. I was about to ask if it was, and yeah.
I know. I was reading your mind. I knew you were about to go through it, as we were going through Whataburger Court at that time. As this is Kessler looking down the inside, and it's just too far back to be making that move.
Yeah, I've said this before. Turn 1 isn't actually that great of an overtaking opportunity. The braking uphill is really awkward, and if you pinch yourself on the inside, you're either going to slam into the car next to you, or you're just going to get a really bad exit, as we saw in lap 1 of Formula 1 today. George sort of just slammed into.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for the end of this race to watch it.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Me. Yeah, you are. You know you are. I can hear you smiling. I can hear you smiling. You can hear when someone
big
says,
time
"Oh
by
my God."
Aberdeen. Hello. Down the inside. He's going to block him off the exit. Lee Aberdeen. Whoa, count him up for 2 for 2 on big overtakes. But Aberdeen, he's fallen all the way down to 21st. And also, we got a big 3-car crash in the background. Matt Brewer involved. And that, I think that was, yeah, there's Matt Brewer right there is on the inside. Oh, he's got suspension damage for that.
Yeah.
Big 3-car incident. We got a replay for y'all right now. This is Matt Brewer attacking the Latvian driver down the inside, and oh, that is just too much mustard, too much speed, and they both get intertwined with each other. There's the car that went onto the outside, so it was a 2-car crash. I think Tumacans, he's got wheel damage as well, and yeah, Tumacans, he's going so, yeah, the front left, I think the front left wheel is off the car. That's my poorly F3 car. Yeah. That car, well, there's a 3 involved in the car. It's not for tricycle, though.
I think he should probably tow. I don't think
he's a man of pride. He's going to try to get that thing back. The track's big enough to do this, and it's going to be faster than a tow, and I feel like that you can get that repaired.
I think
we have an issue with Lee Aberdeen. This is what happened to Lee. For everyone. Oh, it's going through the S. I think it's going through the S.
No, that's near the end of the track.
Oh, big spin.
Yeah, that's just before the triple apex, right hand.
It was the arena.
Yeah. I'm not good with corner names on this track. Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't just chuck it into. Oh, do you know what I mean? Turn. I don't know what turn is what.
This section of track, you got the S's, you got turn 1, you got the long straightaway, then you got the arena.
Well, then there you go. But yeah, I was wondering why Lee just didn't chuck it into reverse. But I mean, he did eventually. But I mean, he's now slipped down to 21st and is 15 places down from where he started. But no doubt he will probably make up a few overtakes as he is a very, very speedy driver. As in the background we have Ivan trying to go for a move on Lucas for 22nd place. Fairly easy move. Is Lucas going to try and come back at him? There's a little bit of sliding.
He's trying to hold it around the outside, but that's Philip Lucas on his inside with a big opportunity. Lucas trying to swing it around the outside, but Kostanowski on that apex puts a big block on a Philip Lucas. Just placing his car where he needs to be, but there's Philip Lucas down to the inside. Shades of Max Verstappen in the Verstapper incident versus Kimi Räikkönen. And here comes Kostanowski around the inside at Whataburger corner. He gets a nose right there. They go side by side through turn 19 and heading into the final turn. Kostanowski once again, big time down towards the inside. Big oversteer. And, well, he's had that move made, but a little bit too much mustard off that exit. That's gonna allow Philip Lucas to take the lead in this fight.
Yeah, that was... I mean, even though it's for 22nd place, racing's racing. These guys are absolutely having a ball on the track. Ivan just getting all over the place, but still lunging it up the inside of any corner that he can. And these two drivers keeping it on the track and having an absolutely amazing battle. I hope these guys can keep it on the track, as it's always nice to see little battles up and down the grid, and hopefully Ivan can come back at him and we can get round 2 of this battle. But further up, Marteau now just dropping back ever so slightly from Jerome Lamley. It's about 8 tenths now, and Timu Milikangas is actually gaining on Marteau, but I don't think Timu's going to try and send it up the inside of his friend, as that would be very, very awkward if they got into a crash, and that call would not end very well. As I have experienced before, if you crash into a teammate or one of your friends, it's such a gut-wrenching feeling. I don't know if Austin's ever felt it, but it's actually a horrible feeling.
Yeah, friends. I don't.
Am I not your friend?
Ooh.
Oh, and that's Ivan. Spun round.
Yeah, that looks like it's just at turn 7 at the start. Nope, it's once again at the arena. We got another car turn around. That's Chuck Morrow. Chuck is spun around at the apex. He's got going again, but ooh, a lot of cars sliding around.
Yeah, these tires go off extremely quickly. I've done a few officials this week before I lost about 150 iRating in one race, so I've not touched it since.
Salt.
But oh, I am salty. I hate this track, but yeah, the tires just explode like within 10 laps. They're gone, and you can't. The car's pretty much undrivable after that point, and we're seeing a few drivers make those sorts of mistakes, and it's quite hilarious. That was mean, wasn't it?
Lucas is chasing down Will McIntyre Jones through the S's.
Oh no!
And, oh, Lucas. I thought he was going to be hitting that sausage curve on the inside. Well, he's got another one, but he is currently at the back of this train. Will McIntyre Jones, Petrosaurus, and Alistair Hay. The other cars in this train. Pedro's looking down the inside of Hay, just trying to get a better line, but Lucas Maruk, he's going to be trying to maximize his exit right there. A lot of sliding through that apex by all the drivers right here. But let's begin the snake.
The snake? I would have called it the human centipede, but whatever
We're
works.
here in Texas. It rattlesnake. There we go. Sweet Soares
really
down the
spent
inside.
30 seconds.
Oh, big lockup right there. Soares blows past the apex. He does get himself onto the inside of the track now. Petrosaurus getting the move made on Alistair Hay. Hay onto the outside, trying to look out to the inside like his teammate did, but watch out. He's got Will McIntyre Jones right there as well. But it is Petrosaurus for 8th place.
Yeah, again, that overtaking opportunity down the back straight into the arena is probably the best overtaking opportunity on this entire track, as a lot of these corners are fairly fast. And that's Will McIntyre Jones going very wide, and his teammate Lucas Maruk surely going to pip him into turn 1, but no, Glamsetter sending it.
Christian Glamsetter. Well, man, that was a very risky opportunity to look up onto the inside, but he was circumvented for that. Trying to get another move heading into big red corner, but he's just waiting back and just staying right behind and trying to find that move as McIntyre Jones and Lucas Maruk are fighting with each other. Two teammates currently sitting in 10th and 11th.
Yeah, I don't know if these guys will work together. I highly doubt it. And if they don't, that's good, because it means more racing for us. And Lee Aberdeen just...
Oh, hello.
I was just watching the timing screens. I think Aberdeen struggling even more, trying to get past Mara, but McIntyre Jones seems to be struggling for grip right now, and Maruk is all over the back of him, and Glamsetter is just sitting there praying and waiting for an opportunity to arise, and surely he might actually be able to get past a pair of them.
Lock up. Lucas Maruk was a little bit slow. Glamsetter had a lot more speed, didn't want to hit his teammate, so he locks up right there. A big opportunity missed, I would say, for Lucas Maruk. And Christian Glamsetter, well, he also locked up as well, not wanting to get involved in that little issue. And if they didn't make a collision, they would look like a human centipede.
Adam Talisman are going for a move. Actually, Andy Flint on Adam Talisman, both teammates as well, and running very different tyre colours. I don't know which one I prefer, actually. I kind of like the green on Andy, actually. I'm not sure.
I love my colored wheels. I like my colored tires. Accents, they work so much, and also it helps to tell a driver apart, especially if they run the same livery. So I like a driver's accented color being on the wheels. I know sometimes when I drive a very different car and they just see orange wheels on there's nothing orange on the livery, it does look a little bit weird, but you know, if it's your favorite color, it brings you good luck. It's there. It's there for a reason.
Can you imagine if they had that in Formula 1? Just different drivers get to choose their different colours of wheels.
Oh, that would be I would love that.
I know you would.
Max Verstappen's would be orange, definitely. Lewis Hamilton. Well, Mercedes actually do this with their numbers. They have colorized numbers. So Lewis would be yellow. George would be blue. Honestly, I thought Lewis would be purple, but his accent is yellow because the Ayrton Senna connection.
Yeah. I'll put it on the grid. That would be interesting.
What would be Sebastian Vettel's color?
Hello. You keep commentating, I'll think.
McIntyre Jones down the inside of Bowser Hay for 9th place, but Hay's going to have that outside line and the outside speed off the exit to get ahead, but watch out because Lucas Maruk is there as well. Maruk trying to push his teammate. He's going to make it 3 wide, almost a collision on the straightaway. Lucas Maruk, 2 cars in 1. Heading into the arena, Lucas Maruk for the lead of this group goes a little bit off, very off the track right there. And oh, collision. Christian Glamson, her back right wheel is off the car.
I'm still thinking of colors, but I didn't quite actually see what happened. I don't think any of us did. I think.
So Alistair Hay made a McIntyre Jones. They made collision. He saw Maruk on his inside. He went a little bit wide, and they made collision with each other. But it was the back right wheel that is confusing me because Glamson was on the outside. So I'm not sure how that happened right there. But a big contact, and Victor Barris also having an issue, falling down to 8th place.
Jed, a lot of drivers are really struggling now. Look, again, I don't know if it's just these tires or
that Texas heat. That Texas heat, baby.
That is a good point. The heat around this track
Ooh, that's risky. Around the outside, opportunity for Lucas Maruk, but it got pushed out wide by Victor Barris. And here is Will McIntyre Jones. Will McIntyre Jones side by side into the S's. He's around the inside. He is still right there. And, oh man, that was a very risky opportunity. I tell you, I've seen a few nasty incidents right there. That oh no was being repeated in my head as well. I saw a MX5 Cup race here in real life on the weekend of the IndyCar race, and they went side by side to the S's. I think me and about 5 other people in my watch party who were sitting on turn 6 right from the S's saw that in the S, and we both said in unison, please don't tell me they're going to go side by side through there. And then they went side by side. It was a massive crash. But they got through there very cleanly. Here is Will McIntyre Jones going down the inside of Victor Barris as we go side by side into the arena. And down the inside goes Will McIntyre Jones. Can he keep it on the track to stay ahead of Victor Barris? Yes, he does. No drama needed right there.
Yeah, that looked like a fairly easy overtake, if I'm being completely honest.
Textbook.
Not really any fuss, but now Lucas Maruk is going to try and have to find a way through on Victor Barris. I think Victor's just struggling a little bit with pace. Again, not sure if it's tires. It's really difficult to know with some of these drivers. But track temp at the moment is looking pretty hot, 28 degrees. But actually for Texas, that's not too bad, I think. Yeah, Austin, you live there, so you know.
I can tell you it is 29 degrees here right now.
And that's so your degrees right now is hotter than the actual track temp, which is incredible. But Lucas Maruk now trying to go for a move on Victor Barris into turn 1. Is there going to be much fuss between these two? And Maruk gets a little bit on that curb, and Barris just about stays ahead. I think Lucas is just going to back out, going side by side through these corners. He's not very smart. He's going to look down the inside a little bit. Victor Barris all over the place.
Barris, oh yeah, he is definitely over the place, flying through turn 6 and into turn 7. I can say he was a little bit sideways, and it was holding a very controlled slide. It looked like he was trying to skip bar Formula 2000 car right now. As here comes Maruk. Maruk, defending champion, looking down towards the inside. Side by side they go. Lucas Maruk up onto the inside at turn 12, and look how wide Barris is. Barris is looking for the run of a century to retain that lead on Lucas Maruk. He's getting the draft as well, so I think we're going to be seeing another textbook pass right here as he goes side by side with Lucas Maruk. Victor Barris back into 9th place as we go back to enter the arena.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the smartest play from Lucas Maruk to overtake into turn 12. I think he probably just should have stayed back and just
What
waited.
about you gotta go for it when you feel like it. And the opportunity was there. Barris really missed that corner, but if Victor Barris was side by side to hold that line, I believe that would have been Lucas Maruk. Victor Barris took a very wise defensive line through there.
Yeah, that was just really smart. As you said, very smart defensive play from Victor Barris, who manages to stay in 9th place, but I think Lucas just has the edge on pace at the moment. But we still got a lot of laps to go. 8 laps left in this race.
And with the track pulling away, I could I can say one thing. Thank you to SRP for providing sponsorship for this series. SRP, their Mission R pedals are now available on their website. One of the best load cell pedals out there. Thank you, SRP, for sponsoring the iGPFun Formula 3 series here on Apex Racing TV. Also, to continue our conversation from earlier, if you have any special colors that you put on your wheels for good luck, put them in the chat. We'd like to know.
I think mine would be red, 100%. Mine would
Ferrari.
be red. Yep, 100%. I'm a Ferrari fan. Red's my favourite colour anyway. Like, regardless of Ferrari, red is just such a nice colour. And also, I gave Sebastian Vettel some thought. I think, actually, it would probably be black. Like, genuinely, I think it would be black. I don't know what you think about that, but... Okay. Yeah, either black or green. I'm not sure. Vettel's a really difficult one, actually.
Yeah, he is a very difficult one, and I was trying to get my head around that, but I cannot see that. It might be chrome. If we go to Red Bull 2012 with the LED helmet and everything, definitely chrome. As this is Barris trying to attack Lucas Maruk, but actually Lucas Maruk made the move on Victor Barris.
Yeah, I did think Lucas Moog would eventually get past. I mean, fair play to Victor, he did some very good defensive plays over the past about 2 or 3 laps. But it was sort of delaying the inevitable, and Lucas Moog makes his way up into 9th place. The defending champion this season not having the greatest defensive season I've ever seen. But at the moment, fairly chill, inside the top 10, can't really complain, especially since IGP is always so competitive. Being inside the top 10 is something to shout about.
Yeah, top 10 here in an ITV Fun. Some drivers will even call it a win, especially because we got some of the best Formula 3 drivers in the world showing up week after week. And SOF, well, it's not really a thing because we do not have iRatings, but there is a overall leaderboard and a under 2,500 leaderboard as Darren Wolfson goes for a spin at Big Red. But if there was a SOF calculation of the field, I believe we could show that, and it will be very big. Around, I would say, an average of 3.5K.
I'd agree with that. I can't.
Oh, 3.0.
3K. We weren't too far off, actually. That's usually where
if there is about 50 cars here, it might be 3.5K. Some of them took the day off.
I'd actually say it probably would be around the same, since remember we have like the top drivers actually affect it very little, like compared to some of the lower iRatings.
This
like
is true.
I think like the top split in F3 is usually around I think around 3K as well. I think the highest I've ever been in is around 4.5, which that was just ridiculous. But yeah, F3 is always super fun, always super competitive, and when you've got a huge grid like this, IGP has large numbers, more than most other leagues on iRacing.
Oh, that's Victor Barris round. Oh, we were just saying on how comfortable he was doing in the top 10, even though he was in the fight. He could just relax right there. Well, I think that falls under us commentating cursing. And this was him trying to chase down Lucas Maruk. He's falling behind, and I feel like this is too much mustard.
Yeah,
exactly.
Very, very, very simple mistake to make, but yeah, just really unfortunate. Not really anything you can say. Just really easy mistake to make, especially so late in the race. We're about 5 or 6 laps past where the officials have gone. So, like I've said over the past few weeks, this is mostly unknown territory to these guys. They have no idea how the tires will behave, unless they've, of course, done practice laps.
I know a few drivers doing practice laps. Right when the week started, they like to host a hostess session. I hopped in there, and they were all, well, A, faster than they are right now, and B, still faster than me. Which says a lot about me, but, you know, I commentate instead of drive.
I do both, and I'm good in both, so I'm not complaining. I mean,
I'm redacting my invite to Texas.
Well, on my debut in iGPFun, I came second.
Linus Malm! under pressure. Some Fessy screaming pass down his inside at the S's. Looks like Mal was recovering from an incident.
The guy that did this a few years ago at this track would say, "Nyong, nyong, 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 nyong." I was that guy actually. I was there. Stephen Ryder's now trying to defend from Rupert Ridgway, who moves himself up into 14th place. Decent overtake into the arena. Austin's just dropped something. I'll give him a second to collect himself. Darren Rowlandson, speaking of which, making that mistake a few laps ago, he's now back into the same position, and that's Ridgway round, and manages to keep it in a straight line somehow, and just loses a few places from where he was in 14th place. I don't know how he actually kept that on the track, but he did, and that's incredible car control. Although he will have to make up the places that he just lost, but decent nonetheless. As now, two drivers! That's Rowlandson and Lucas, I think.
Oh, hello! Watch out, that rejoin right there. That was almost a collision, and I think that was a instant tow by Darren Rowlandson. But Philip, Lucas, and Rowlandson, well, somebody dropped the mustard off the exit of turn 20 and just dumped it right there because synchronized drifting and spinning. I didn't know Formula D was in town.
No. Yeah, that was, wow. That was very synchronized. Almost beautiful, in fact.
It was beautiful in not the most beautiful way. It was strange. Two cars losing it at the same time. Ooh.
And they're both having fairly similar, really not so great rejoins. It's almost like one person was driving the exact same car. That was a very odd incident for both of them, but I think Darren didn't really get any damage. He just got fed up. I don't blame him. He's had a fairly disappointing race. Was up there nearly in the top 10 at one point, but had a few incidents. As now we catch a replay. Probably too much mustard. Yep. And Philip Lucas behind doing exactly the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
It's been a long day.
It has, and it's like 10:15 for me. What do you know? What time is it for you? It's probably like dinner for you.
It's 4:15.
Yeah, there you go. It's like, what the hell?
You don't wake up at 4 in the morning.
Why did you wake up at 4 in the morning?
You don't go for a 13-mile run in the morning?
No, because I would probably... I could probably do a 13-yard run, but that's about as far as I'm going before I...
Thankfully, I know what a yard is.
Oh, good. I hate running. That's why I drive cars. I don't run. I hate running.
Well, I can tell you, when I drove cars, running was so I could fit in them. So.
Well, yeah.
Pro drivership.
If I could drive cars in real life for a living, I would, but I don't have money, so I can't, unfortunately.
You don't need money to go running.
Yeah, but I would only go running if I needed to drive a car. And I don't, because I don't have money. Whereas you did, or do.
We'll keep that question in the back pocket as Marcel Kessler is chasing down Townsend. But off the track is Philip Lucas.
Again, over the past 2 laps, 2 similar mistakes. Austin, what did he do? Go on, I want to hear you say it. And that's Christian Glamsetter in. Wow, he's fallen down.
Too much mustard.
Yeah, there you go. Austin giving his absolutely classic one-liner. We need a, what's it called?
The emote?
No.
A shirt?
Nope.
A sign? Decal? Trademark?
Oh, give me a second. I need to remember
Merchandise?
what it's called. No, I forgot what it's called. You know,
Flushy.
where you have a bunch of sound effects.
A soundboard?
Yeah, there you go.
A soundboard of all. I can tell you 5 of them would just be me screaming in different accents.
That would be beautiful. I want that. Someone make that.
Please do not make that.
Please make that. I would pay
If you
good
do,
money.
at least make it into the spotter pack on iRacing. Now that I would be interested.
Oh god, you should do it yourself. That would be amazing.
Oh yeah, I could.
I feel like this is more of a podcast than a commentary now, but
Well, the battles on track have widened out pretty a lot right now, so a lot of the drivers are in that final stage of the race where they're trying to catch up. But if you look at our dancing dots of doom, our track map is up in our upper right-hand corner on the right side
what
of the
did you
screen.
just call it?
The dancing dots of doom.
I'm gonna. All right. Yep.
You weren't here when we first coined it, but it was the entire track map was covered in dots on a full lap as Jerome Lanley is going to have a little bit of an issue. There's a car off right in front of him.
I don't think that will affect him. I don't think that will affect Jerome.
I think the side of smoke and maybe a yellow flag, but he's currently 3.5 seconds ahead of Marteau in second place. So, yeah, it's not going to be affecting him as well. But the 747 Zolta's zone motor having an issue at the end of the straightaway.
Very weird number choice. 747.
I like planes.
I like planes as well. I mean, 747. Not my plane of choice personally.
It's like the most famous plane in
yes,
America. Side by side, Kessler versus Talsma. So they go side by side. Kessler on the outside, Talsman on the inside. Kessler trying to look for a switchback opportunity, but just coax it off the exit. Big wheel spin right there.
I don't know what just happened to your voice. I don't want to know. It just entered a different dimension. But Adam Talsman doing a pretty decent job at staying ahead of Marcelo Kessler. Had a fairly decent race. He's up 6 places right now, but Kessler up 9 places. Very difficult to tell who's going to be the quicker out of these two. But my money's on Adam at the moment. I'd probably just jinxed him, but I don't care. Oh no, I do care now. I feel so bad. If he spins, I'm so sorry, Adam.
Historically, Marcelo Kessler has a faster lap than Adam Talsma, the 157.42. But Kessler's been making a lot of mistakes right there. The fast few quarters, we saw another bit of wheel spin for Kessler. He's got to keep these tires alive. But Adam Talsman, though, he's currently going to be pulling ahead of Marcelo Kessler. So this could be advantage Talsman if he was able to keep his tires under check.
Yeah, I mean, tires are such a big game in this. Like, I wouldn't actually think it would be, like, if you thought about F3, like, tires are never really thought about at all. But this is the one race where they actually are. I mean, 25 laps on one set of tires in heat like this.
It's not
yeah,
that
by
hot.
the end of the... Okay. Yeah, for you it's not. For me...
I'm used to 40 degrees outside. You're fine. These guys are fine.
I'm looking at what temper it is in the country. It's currently 14 degrees in England, where I live. 14, and I'm hot right now.
That's too cold for me.
No.
Ooh, watch out for Kessler. Kessler in the draft on the brakes. He looked a little bit too deep on the brakes, but didn't move out of the line. Almost made contact with Talsma as they continue to go on. 2 laps to go for Jerome Lanley up in the lead ahead of Martel and Milicongas. But the fight that we're watching at right now is 12th and 13th. And also we got another fight for 5th place. Soares and Julio in the fight for 5th is Pedro Soares in the draft right now. The Hydro Race Racing Forces car looking down the inside, heading into Big Red Corner. 2 laps to go into turn 1, and it is Pedro Soares up into 5th.
Yeah, again, looked like a fairly easy overtake, if I'm going to be honest. That was fairly, really clean, especially into turn 1. I was saying earlier, it's incredibly bumpy, and the elevation change makes it so difficult to hit your braking point, and he did it pretty much spot on. And Julio having a fairly modest race, you know, staying around where he started, currently in 6th, 1 place down from where he started.
Checks out as bumpy.
What do you mean?
It's not as bumpy as other tracks in America.
That's true.
Coda bumpy compared to Detroit is not on the same scale.
Sebring as well.
Sebring final corner is the worst.
I genuinely feel bad.
Having experienced Sebring bumpy versus Mid Ohio bumpy versus Coda bumpy, Coda feels like a ride on a bed.
I mean, over here in England, our tracks are as smooth as a baby's bottom, so we don't have to worry.
Boring. No characteristic. Boring.
Okay. You say it's okay. You want a track that has no character? Come down to Cadwell Park. I dare you.
Why would I want to go there?
Because it's literally. I honestly. If
White
you've never
flag is in the
experienced
air. Talsma versus Kessler. I have driven Cadwell Park in Sims.
There you go. You cannot tell me it doesn't have any character. You can't.
Yeah, I can tell you you can't hold a race there. That funnel sector.
I will live on commentary strangle you if you're not careful. I will do things that will get me sent to prison.
Okay, before you get sacked twice on Apex Racing TV, Kessler looking down to the inside of Talsma as it is 1 lap to go for them. White flag is in the air. Kessler versus Talsma in the fight for 12th place. They head into turn 1. Ooh, Talsma with a defensive line right now into big right corner. Kessler, though, woo, around the outside, got a lot of speed right there, heading into turn 2. Well, last chance opportunity. Are we going to be seeing it move down the inside? No, we are not. He thought about it. He wanted to go for it, but he's got a better rhythm through the S. As you can see, Talsma was going a little bit wide. Here comes Marcelo off the exits, and here we go. Marcelo, he's going to be getting a great run heading into the hairpin. Is he going to be playing it smart? He's going to be playing it aggressive. We're going to find out. Big correction by Marcelo. Kessler was dancing with that wheel right there as he was trying to look down to the inside, heading to the hairpin. He stays right behind him into turn 11. They both go a little bit wide, a little bit of a drench for Talsma. Talsma under pressure by Marcelo Kessler. The 228 is under attack. Well, is doing the attack. He is providing all that draft and attacking into the draft, looking around to the outside. Kessler, Talsma, side by side they go. Marcelo Kessler round the outside at the arena, and he makes it work. Marcelo Kessler into 11th as Jerome Lamley takes the win here at Circuit of the Americas, followed by Q Tiago Marteau and TV Milicongas in 3rd. And Marteau with a beautiful 360.
I wanted to watch the battle for 6th. I was watching the positions go up and down all the time, and we didn't even pay attention to it. Oh, but nevertheless, Julio wins out that battle.
I can tell you this: we have the magic of Stimuli.
Stimuli, can we watch it, please? I want to watch it back. We don't have the luxury of having multiple cams on iRacing. We only have one. I want to watch it back because genuinely the positions were going up and down the entire final sector.
I feel like there was so much going on that he's trying to find the start of it, because they swapped. The area swapped about, I don't know, 7 times it looks like.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Here we go. Here we go. That fight.
Or we're starting off in the arena. I thought I was
McIntyre Jones. He's on the inside. Julio is trying to hold up around the outside. There's McIntyre getting the lead just a little bit, and he gets the lead. Big lockup around to the outside, and Julio, though, pulls that inside line, but McIntyre, oh my gosh, look at the amount of speed that he has. He's looking down the inside of that triple right-hander. But that is a brave move. I think he's cut the track a little bit. You see him just trying to catch the car. He got up onto one of those curves. The car got out from under him as they enter Whataburger Corner. Is it going to be a last-ditch effort for McIntyre Jones? I don't think so, because Julio finishes in 6th place. McIntyre Jones in 7th. But man, what a last lap scrap by both of them.
I wanted to watch it so bad. That was incredible. I mean, to be fair, up and down the grid.
We had fights up and down the grid. 3 nose-to-nose fights between 3 different drivers. McIntyre Jones, Lucas Maruk, and Talsma as well. They all had fights with each other. Plenty of action here at iGPFun. I can tell you a lot of these drivers, they also stream their races. So if you have a favorite driver, make sure you follow them on social media and maybe on their streaming platform of choice. Marteau does stream. Yes, that is true.
But shout out to Jerome Lemley, the only driver this season to actually take fight to Marteau and win. The only driver this season, and we're what, like 6, 7 races in to this season?
Yeah, we're a number. We're a number. I can definitely tell you that.
That was
There have been
honestly.
so many races here in iGPFun. This is round 6. Yes.
Yeah, I told you. I'm just too good with numbers, man. But
You
I
looked
mean,
at the title of the race, didn't you?
no, actually, I didn't. I did not. I'm just so good
just
with
knew it?
counting. Yeah, I'm just built diff. Like I'm just built diff. But
Well,
anyway,
I
shut
like
up,
the
Austin.
build different to read the results.
Yeah, Jerome Lamley. I mean, incredible performance by him to come home in first place. Again, the only the second other driver to win apart from Marteau this season. Incredible drive from him. Marteau then in second place, around 4.5 seconds behind. Teemu following in third place to round off the podium. Then another 7 seconds back, we had Tony Jimenez. Pretty decent race from him as well. Fairly quiet. Didn't really talk about him much. Pedro Soares up 7 places. Very good race from him to finish in 5th. Julio Policio in 6th. Decent result from him. Will McIntyre also having a pretty decent race. Luca Varani as well. Lucas Marouk then in 9th, and to round off your top 10, Evan Way. Andy Flint in 11th place. Marcelo Kessler winning that battle against Adam Talsma. Stephen Riders in 14th place. Robert Widgway making a fairly decent comeback after his earlier incident in the race to finish in 15th. Victor Barris, disappointing result from him in 16th. Ben Goethe in 17th place. Chuck Mara in 18th. Ivan in 19th place. Alistair Hay in 20th. He probably will be fairly salty after that result. Could have been a lot more for him. Philip Lucas in 21st place. Simon Fessi in 22nd. Linus Malm in 23rd. Kuji Itoi in 24th place. Alan Lee in 25th. Pablo Bremer in 26th place. John McKenzie 27th. Trevor Stith in 28th place. Matthew Gracie in 29th. And then your lapped cars, Irvind Timulikans in 30th place. Christian Glamsetter, another disappointing result for him in 31st. Zoltan Zamota in 32nd. Marcius Putinix in 33rd place. Matthew Brewer, another disappointing result for him as well, all the way down in 34th. Leonardo Ocherry, I didn't really see him all race, in 35th place. And your non-finishers for today, Darren Rollinson, Lee Aberdeen, and Marquez Utalovs in 38th. Fairly decent results for some of these drivers, but anyone below, I say P20, massive missed opportunity for them, as not many drivers here today. They had an opportunity to score a lot more points and unfortunately didn't take it. Austin?
Yeah, a little bit of mistakes up and down the grid, but we are joined by, we have a rare opportunity. We ended this race really early, so we are actually joined by not one, but 2 drivers. We have QT Agamarto and Tini Milikonga standing by with us. Aaron, who do you want to talk to first?
QT, of course. Who else would I want to talk to more than QT? Marto, walk us through that entire race. Actually being beaten on pure pace for the first time this season. How do you feel?
Yeah, it was a tough race. I mean, the pace wasn't really there at the start of the race. Was really struggling with, keeping up with Jerome once he passed me, and then been staying a bit too long in the dirty air, which caused my tires to say just nope at the later phase of the race, and just cost me a lot of pace, and also cost me a couple of high heartbeat moments, because I had a tiny bit of full lock saves, especially in turn 1, but yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I did see when you were battling with Jerome, especially in the earlier parts, you did have quite a lot of moments, the car not really agreeing with the way you were controlling it. Do you think going into Nürburgring next week you'll have a similar sort of problem, or will you be as dominant as you usually are?
Well, we hope, the last one, but Nürburgring is a bit more familiar to me. this track. Haven't really got much practice in. Yeah, only a couple of laps the day before, and of course the practice session before qualifying. And Nürburgring I've raced, I think 3 times in iGPFun, 2 or 3 times. So yeah, track is a bit more familiar, so easier to you know, yeah, get around on.
Would you agree with me over Austin that this track is trash?
One word, yes.
Thank you, Austin. Shut your face. But before we
He left. He just left.
But before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank after a pretty decent race?
Yeah, of course. Shout out to my team, Delta Sport. Shout out to my family who's watching every race, and big shout out to Timu for staying with me during the race, and yeah, for the laughs.
Let's go. That was Tiago Marteau, your second place man here today. Fairly decent result for him. Really consistent this season, and hopefully he is the title favorite for this season in iGPFun. It is now Austin Knight's turn to interview our third place man, Timu Velakakis.
Timu, it was a good day for you today. You started up in third, you finished third, but throughout most of the race, in the opening parts, you were following Jerome Lindley and Tiago Marteau that entire time. You were the third wheel in that fight, and how difficult is it to stay 1, 2, and 3, pretty much nose to tail for a solid 10 laps?
Oh yeah, it was entertaining to watch the fight in front, but I just didn't want to get involved that much because I thought that I saved the tires to the end, and I tried to fight in the end, but the tires just completely died as well. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. I should have tried to fight a bit. I had some good results too.
There were points within the race that you did look like you were going to go for a move after Marteau made a slight mistake here and a slight mistake there, but you always just kind of backed up and just stayed right there. But like you said, tire wear is always important in these cars. And how was the track conditions out there? I know Kona has that kind of slick mentality where it's hard to find the grip.
Yeah, it's very hard. I mean, at the start it was nice. I didn't push that much because the guys from front fighted, so I just chilled a bit. But the end, when I had to push, it was like some lap was good, some lap was shit. So.
Well, it was a good showing for you today. Nürburgring, it is next week. Before we let you go to get ready for that race, anybody you want to thank?
Of course, big shout out to Marcel, of course. We were on the voice for the whole race, and yeah, thanks for the team. Shout out to the team as well, race coach.
Well, thank you, Timu and Marteau, for both stopping by at the end of this race to give us your thoughts after it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here and on Apex Racing TV for another fantastic round of iGPFun presented by SRP and Virtual Racing School here on Apex Racing TV. I've been joined by Aaron Smith and Samuli Kumo in the production booth. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.